And the other good thing about credit cards is they have protection policies. Using that card is safer than using a debit card. What's going on? It's your boy Only Isaiah back with another banger. Today we're going to be talking about how to use a credit card and how to manage a credit card. So the main point on this is talking about automatic payments, on-time payments, and card utilization. That's the two main things we're going to be talking about in today's video. I'm going to give you a little trick on how to hide the utilization if you stay and watch to the end. It's important that you're using each card to maximize its benefits. So it's very important to utilize and maximize the benefits of the card so you can really see growth in your financial situation and also your lifestyle situation, because if you're utilizing these cards right, you will be able to get free travel, free accommodation, and so many other perks. So I promise to give you the best strategies and the best knowledge that I have personally used on myself, and it has worked excellently for me. Firstly, we're going to talk about the fundamentals, the credit usage, the payment history, the different type of cards, and interest rates. Okay, so let's start with the fun one, the different type of cards. If you're a person who loves to travel, I recommend getting a travel card and figuring out exactly how you can gain the most points. For example, eating at restaurants or shopping at certain places, you get double the points as if you're just using it to get something else. So for example, if you don't really like traveling, you're not interested in that, you can get a cashback card, like the Apple card, which is 2% cashback on all purchases. There's also cards like annual fee cards, like the American Express Platinum, but that also comes with perks. Does come with also a fee, so you have to weigh out the perks yourself to see if it's worth it for you. And if you do have a card like that or any other card with the perks where you get lounge access, it's important to use the lounge access when you are traveling, and use the TSA pre-check, which a lot of people don't really know about, but that is a major hack if you are trying to get somewhere quick and you don't want to wait in lines. Really understanding what credit cards you have is important. And then the next thing is understanding your credit limit. You don't want to spend more than 10% of what you have. So for example, you have a $1,000 credit limit. You don't want to spend any more than $100. You can spend that, but you got to make sure at the end of the billing cycle, it is paid to below 10%. Because if you don't pay below 10%, it's gonna dramatically decrease your credit score. So you have to make sure you are paying that less than 10%. And then the next thing is interest rates. Some cards might have high interest, some cards might have zero interest. So it would be better to use the cards with lower interest, unless of course you are paying them off below 10%, because that interest rate will be nothing. Or if you're paying it off completely, there will be no interest. So if you're using it for points strictly, just figure out what exactly you're using the card for, cashback or flights, and then choose which card to use. So if you want to avoid interest all around completely, I recommend just paying off your card in full, making sure you're paying your credit card on time every month. The best thing for that is just setting up automatic payments. Make sure you set up automatic payments in the app, so every month it will get paid on time automatically, because if you don't do that, the interest rates will shoot up and you will get charged a fee, and maybe even your credit limit will get sliced. So it's important to read, when you do get your credit card, it's important to read the terms and conditions, because that's where you'll find all the terms and conditions, what rewards you'll get, what your interest rate is, and if it has an annual fee, that's where all your annual fee and all your information will be at. So it's important to make sure you skim over that to really understand what the best way for you to use that card specifically is. It'll have the extra fees, it'll have the interest rate, and it'll also have the late payment or missed payment fees. So it's important to make sure you're checking that out and making sure you're never going against them terms and conditions. So it's really important you're using credit as a financial tool, not just for free money, because it's important to use the credit as a tool to get you like a product so that you can sell and make a profit. It's not for you to go get clothes, it's for you to go use it as a tool and get inventory to sell, or to get a new car to put on tour, rent it out. It's a tool to get you more money. It shouldn't be a tool just to waste. That's not what credit is. If you do that, you will forever go down the rabbit hole of debt, and it'll be so hard to get out of. It's important to create a budget with your credit card. Having, for example, setting out how much your limit is and how much 10% is, and making sure you have the exact same amount in your bank to pay it below 10%. That's the most important thing. As long as you set up a budget and become aware of the payment dates, you will never have a late payment, and you will never have over 10% utilization. And again, you want to make sure you're using this card as a tool, not just buying crap. Unless, of course, you have that exact same money that you're going to use cash, and you can pay it straight off because you're getting reward points, you're getting cash back. That's the only way I recommend, if you're not using it as a tool, making sure you do have that money in cash to pay it off. Like, for example, groceries. You know what I mean? You get the fact. You get the gist. Because it's still better to use your credit card than your debit card, because your debit card doesn't get you anything, but the credit card will either give you travel points or cash back. Another thing you can do if you don't trust yourself, you can also go on the app and set a limit for yourself of 10%, which when you're using the card, you won't be able to spend over 10%. That is another little hack that you can do if you don't trust yourself, to make sure you stay below the 10% utilization and you're not overspending. So just because you are getting all this money, don't go out buying designer, all these cars, unless you have a game plan of how to make you money. So it's important just to make sure that you do have that money to pay off the credit cards. But for example, you're a business owner and you need to spend more than 10%. That's okay, because on the business side, utilization doesn't show, so it won't go on your report that you have a high utilization, so it won't negatively affect your credit report. So it's important to understand what your credit card offers, because each credit card is specific. Each credit card has different offers. So for example, could have cashback or travel. So like I said, understand what you want to do. If it's travel, use travel cards. If it's cashback, use cashback cards. And the other good thing about credit cards is they have protection policies. Using that card is safer than using your debit card, because using your debit card, that's your personal money. But if you're using a credit card, that's the bank's money. And the banks don't play about their money, so they're going to get you that money back way faster than if you were to use a debit card. So worrying about fraudulent activities on your credit card is a lot better than having fraudulent activities on your debit card. So it's important when you're looking for credit cards to compare a wide variety of credit cards, making sure it suits specifically for you. A few little quick hacks. You can do this for points and cash back. For example, at grocery stores you get 4x points or like 4% cash back. I'm just going with that. But you want to buy something else at, say, a sporting store. You can go to that grocery store and buy a gift card from that grocery store that you were already going to spend, and go to that sports store and buy the product. You're going to get the 4x points because you're buying from you're going to get the 4x points or 4% cash back for buying at the grocery store and using it at the sports store, the gift card. Because technically you're buying from the grocery store and you're using the gift card at the sporting store. So that's a very good way how to utilize, how to really run up them points and run up that cash back. And also with certain cards, you got to make sure beginning bonuses, sometimes you might have to spend a certain amount to get, you might have to spend like $5,000 to get 80,000 bonus points. Using them bonus points is key. So when you're signing up, you make sure you're hitting them bonus point limits, so you get to receive the bonus points, because them bonus points are valuable. It's a lot easier getting them bonus points than getting normal points from spends. When you are swiping them cards, making sure you utilize your credit report. So making sure you're understanding it and keep checking up daily to weekly to monthly to make sure no fraudulent charges have been set or no defaults have been put on your account. So it's important to check that out. You can go on Credit Karma, or you can go on Identity IQ. I will drop a link down below for a $1 trial for 7 days, and that will give you a lot more accurate credit report than Credit Karma. You will see all 3 bureaus, and it's important to making sure that you're viewing your statements and seeing if there is any unauthorized payments, and making sure you're paying, making sure you check your statement date and your payment date, and making sure you understand when to pay, and not to pay on the payment date but then right after that date run it up, and then the statement date comes and you have a high utilization. So that's an important thing to do. Understand when your payment date is and when your statement date is. So to end off this video, I'm gonna give you that hack on how to never pay interest. So here's what you want to do. For example, A is due on the 1st, B is due on the 16th. You can pay each debt off using that same money, so you will never have to pay interest on those. For example, you move the 500 to the other account when it's due, and then pay that off, and then when the other one's due, you just move it back. So you gotta make sure you change your statement dates to the 1st and the 14th, or the 14th and the 28th. Those are 2 options that you can do. Or there's the other option where you get a 0 interest business card or 0 interest personal card and transfer all the debt into that. And then once that runs up, get another no interest business card and then transfer it again. Like that, you will never pay debt. So that's 2 easy, quick hacks that you can use to never pay interest again. So yeah, I hope you gained some knowledge. I hope you're making sure you know which credit card you're using, if it's points or cashback, and using it for that purpose. Understanding which shops and things give you higher rewards, higher points, higher cashback. Making sure you're keeping your utilization low. Making sure you're making on-time payments, and making sure you check your credit report and your statements to make sure there's no fraudulent activity or any defaults on your account. I hope you take this information and use it wisely. It's helped me in the past, and I hope it helps you. When you do use this information, you will see the results, and you will understand that credit is a very powerful tool, and it's nothing to be scared of as long as you have those rules down and you're using the card correctly. So if you're interested in this video and if you're an entrepreneur who wants to get a 750 plus credit score and at least 50,000 in funding, DM me on Instagram, OnlyUpIsaac, and we can get started. The sooner you start, the sooner you get the funding, the sooner you get the money, the sooner the dreams come to fruition. Okay, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. OnlyUpIsaac.